Okay, it's the first weekend in July, and we're going to take a quick look at the orchard. The pear tree is looking good. Haven't noticed any problems with it. And the pears are still big, or getting bigger. It's hard to tell, but they're all looking good. And except for this one. Well, this guy's not looking so good. I'll have to look into that one, see what's going on. See if there's just something that died or whatnot, but I haven't seen any of the frass out the bottom there, which is the poop of some pest. So we'll just keep. I think they're just keep plugging along. Cherries are what's really happening right now. There's lots and lots of cherries. We finally picked a bit. Picked a. I think I picked a quart. Picked a couple quarts total. Some of them are red, are ripe. Most of them, or a bunch of them, at least the last time I looked, still weren't ripe. So the thing about them is that this red right here is not ripe. I mean, they're sweet, but they still have quite a bit of tartness to them. But basically, they need to be very dark, and so it's kind of tricky to gauge that and stuff. But there's lots and lots of them. I think if we see over here, we can see a good example. So these ones are ripe. Oop, I've got a whole cluster. I think these ones here, those ones are they're almost black, that dark. Those are ripe. But those ones that are red, just red, aren't really that ripe. So like I said, it's very subtle and it's hard to see, I'm sure, especially on this without the best of lighting here, this early in the morning. But anyway, you can totally see in person the difference between ripe and not ripe. So anyway, I picked about a bit, but there's still tons and tons and tons more cherries. The birds are starting to eat them, or even worse, just to pick at them, which is very annoying because they'll just peck it once and then leave, which basically ruins the cherry. I wish that they're going to eat it, they would at least eat it all, but they don't. They just like to snack, I guess. So anyway, we're going to be getting in here and getting some more cherries soon in the next upcoming week. We might just have to pick some of them that aren't quite fully ripe yet, just to kind of get them processed and away from the birds. And there's definitely a lot of problems. I don't know what those are from. As I look around, there's lots of, it's probably mostly bird damage, but there's other ones that are just shriveled up, and it's hard to tell what's going on. So anyway, it makes it a kind of a mess to pick too, because you end up picking, when you pick, you gotta, you grab the crappy ones as well as the good ones, so you have to sort through the good and the bad. Anyway, we do have cherries. Just need to go through there and get some more and see what's going on. So anyway, that's kind of the big deal. The ones that we have picked that are fully ripe are just super delicious. So very happy about that. It was interesting because it was all on this is the one that I picked, all on this limb, that limb that comes out here. This, those ones right there were all perfectly ripe. The rest of them still red, still, not quite there. Don't know why exactly it was there, because the other places right next to them, they had pretty much the same sun exposure and stuff, just weren't there. So I don't know what it is. But anyway, that's the cherries. The apple tree, still definitely haven't looked much at it at all. But with no fruit, there won't be nearly as many pests this year. We don't have to worry about the collie moth messing with it that much. So honestly, haven't spent much time looking at it, but it's still there, still very bushy. Could definitely use a trim, but we'll have to look into that later. Now the peach tree. So we had noticed, I guess let's look at the whole thing overall. The leaves still have this weird yellowing color, and then the peaches themselves are getting good size. But when we were cleaning out some of the weeding around the bottom there, noticed that there was some unusual stuff going on at the base of the tree, and basically there was some like some sap, or the oozing out and stuff, and I didn't know exactly what it was. And then first of all, last week I got another email update from the extension service, and they said that they had caught some greater peach tree borer pests, and then told everyone what they looked like. And as soon as they said what they looked like, that was exactly what what the symptoms we had. So what we did is I looked into it, and that's what probably what the issue is with why it was at the bottom. So to treat for it, basically you have to treat the bottom 12 to 18 inches of the trunk, and then around the base of the trunk, because it's a little wasp type thing that lays its eggs down there, and then it goes and it literally bores into the tree. That's why they call it the greater peach tree borer, and it bores into the tree itself and eats in. That's what it eats. So it's like the raspberry horntail that eats inside the plant, but this eats inside the tree. And obviously this is much more damaging because the tree is here for ever, not just 2 years as in the raspberry. So anyway, looked into some products and basically couldn't really find exactly the product we wanted. So for now I just used some of the one of the approved products, which is the stuff we use for our apple tree, and sprayed it around there. Kind of not exactly the best situation, but I used what we had just to kind of get an application on there, and then we'll have a few weeks to figure out the better one, the more optimal one. But anyway, so that is something that we're treating right now, and it's a really good thing that we were cleaning around the base there, pulling some of those weeds, otherwise we wouldn't have noticed it. And so that's why it's definitely important to keep an area around the base of your tree so that you can see what's going on down there and notice things like that. So that's what they always recommend, and sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't, but it's definitely something, that you want to see so you can see what's going on there. So anyway, we treated for that. And on a different note, someone in the comments last week had recommended, or maybe a week before, but had commented. I mentioned that we had some goop coming out, and they mentioned that I might want to check it out and see, because it could be a pest. And I dissected. I took like 4 of them, and I basically cut them open, and to see if there's any pests in there, because they said there might be some, some worm type thing. And I didn't find anything at all. It was just on the damage on the outside, so I don't know what happened. And by the way, these things are very hard to dissect, because this peach right now is about the pit is about the same size as it is when it's fully mature, which obviously the fruit is very hard, and so it's very difficult to cut this peach without cutting the pit. And anyway, it's a real challenge. But all the ones that I pulled out, I could not find any worms inside, any damage, just other than the outside. So, and we've never had any issues with that. But we've also never had any issues with the peach tree borer. But so we'll keep an eye on this, and I'm probably going to do another thinning of the fruit in a bit here, just to kind of make sure we have our good spacing and make sure we didn't miss too much. And when I do, I always try to pick for anything that has any damage so that I can take a look at it and go dissect it and see what's going on. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on that and see what's going on with that. So we're definitely, we think we might have the greater peach tree borer, so we're treating for that. And then we'll keep looking up here to see if anything else is going on. So anyway, that's been kind of a little scary thing there, but we'll hopefully treat it and keep it away. So, and then the other pear tree still plugging along. Got some nice good pears going on it. Some little black stuff there, but other than that, not too many issues. And our apricot tree usually comes, or I guess I should say usually, there's the one time that it happened a couple years ago that it actually produced fruit was in the middle of July. So at the beginning of July here, we'll hope to see them in a couple weeks, but based upon how the cherries were delayed, we're probably looking at 3 or 4 weeks before we see anything here for our variety here. So, and we can see up there that they look very pretty, but they're still very, very green, and not even close to being ready. Even though some people in the valley have mature ones, ripe ones already, just different varieties and different microclimates. So anyway, there is our apricots. Gonna get a crop this year, and we'll just keep an watchful eye on the peach tree. Hopefully that we can make sure to keep this pest under control, because it can kill your tree, which is kind of a scary thing to think about when it takes several years to get a fruit tree producing. So anyway, we'll keep you posted on that, and we'll hopefully be getting lots of delicious cherries soon. All right, thanks for watching.